Happy Thursday and happy
Happy
Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Let's go. How we doing, Ivan?
What's going on? Doing all right, doing all right. Having a busy week. I don't know where the last 4 days have gone, but it was just like that. And so there's Friday left. So definitely looking forward to the weekend. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Same boat. Lots of craziness this week, man. Keeping us all busy. It's good and bad, but it's mostly good. So we're chugging along. The crypto space moves in a ever evolving fashion, so we gotta love that.
It's crazy out there.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. My name's Ivan Dimov, CMO of the American Crypto Academy, and I'm joined by my Web3 partner in crime, Smart Assets.
That's what I am. I'm a Web3 partner in crime. I'll take that
Smart
title.
Assets partner in crime. I don't know. I was trying to come up with a quick name.
No, I love that. I love that. Yeah, I'm Evan, or at EvDog Crypto. I am a Sarson Funds analyst, and I enjoy the space of NFTs and smart assets. We're out here being learners of the ecosystem, and we're just sharing things that we're seeing in the markets with you guys. It's a pretty fun time. So be sure to come join us every Thursday.
Absolutely. We are going to deep dive into a few projects that we've handpicked for everyone today. We also have a couple new sort of segments that we're going to try out, see how they fit. Um, and with that, some of the topics we'll cover about is I've been recently, there's been a lot of talk, especially with regulations around about NFTs being dead or useless or having no value. So with that, we'll jump into some projects that highlight some of the exact opposite. And on a side note, there's a lot of big names working and spending billions of dollars. So I don't know how those people can make those comments. One of those topics is going to be Vincent Van Gogh. Ooh, we're talking about Vincent Van Gogh with NFTs.
Mm.
Uh, Latest from Katy Perry and her drop on Theta that she's been so committed to. Evan is going to tell us about Magic Eden's Bitcoin Ordinal Marketplace that just launched. And what else we got in store, Evan?
So I'm going to talk a little bit about Dead Drop, Dr. Disrespect. He's a big streamer of video games. He's creating his own extraction shooter game similar to Tarkov. So that's going to be very exciting. His NFT dropped, I believe, yesterday. And then we're also going to dive a little bit into this is kind of out of the Web3 scope, but we're going to talk a little bit about Fortnite Creative 2.0 and what that might mean for the future of metaverses and gaming in general, setting a new overall meta for the gaming space. So very excited to dive into these topics with you guys.
All right. And
And we'll let Ivan tell us a little bit about the automotive giants in Web3. You're a car guy, Ivan. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about some of these things.
well, we're not, we can probably spend several shows talking about what potentially can be done in the space and what people should do, and probably share a lot of ideas out there that people are either building with or can run with and make some money. But no, we'll just touch upon some, yeah, some high level, big auto, automotive giants, for lack of a better word, because they make beyond just cars, and what they're doing in the space. And so we'll touch on some of that. There's been some headlines, and I thought, why not share a few bigger names as well?
Absolutely, absolutely.
But with that, let's jump into a quick news segment we're calling Market Highlights that will highlight some headlines that sort of stuck out and we find major in the space. Worthy of mention for this week, sort of gives a summary of where the week's been and where we're going. So we'll get through this briefly and quickly. So, on that note, Sony files for a patent for cross-platform NFTs. What that means is that Sony's going to allow you to trade assets, be it video game skins or avatars or artwork or weapons, etc. What we've all been talking about that eventually gamers are going to do and become a huge onboarding event for Web3. Polygon and Immutable have collaborated to accelerate mainstream Web3 gaming. Speaking of gaming, they have partnered up to create a simpler, faster, easier, cheaper solutions using their zero knowledge proof uh, um, networks in order to scale building on Ethereum, but then also gaming and development of gaming on that blockchain. And then speaking of automotives, Nissan doubles down on Web3 innovation. They're jumping uh, all the way into the deep of Web3 and have secured several trademarks, including Infinity Nismo and Nissan brands that they want to make clothes, cars, headgear, trading cards, toys, tickets, and a marketplace, of course, to trade all of these on. So there's uh, also with some of that latest. Sorry, this wasn't happening as I had pictured it going down. But we also have Reddit has confirmed that they're building an NFT marketplace. Um, Reddit's ELTs and Avatar Marketplace on their site while he was speaking at Paris Blockchain this week. And if you didn't know, Paris Blockchain is currently going on over in Paris, and Paris Blockchain was started by an event, Crypto Mondays Paris, that grew so big to where they turned it into a full week of events. So definitely interesting. But with that, just some quick summaries of headlines from this week. We'll let Evan jump into his topic of telling us about what Magic Eden's doing. Magic Eden, tell us about who Magic Eden is and why we're talking about it today.
Yeah, so Magic Eden is the biggest marketplace on Solana, has been for a very long time at this point, over a year. They've captured a large percentage of the market share, but we've started to see kind of a shift in that narrative away from the the main marketplaces, right? We're starting to see secondary marketplaces for things like things like OpenSea, and I think we're starting to see that on the Solana side as well. But with Magic Eden, they have actually introduced a Bitcoin Ordinals section within their website, allowing you to connect using your Hero wallet directly into the site, so you're not needing to wrap up your NFTs using an Ordinal vault. You're actually able to directly buy with your Hero wallet. So if I wanted to go check out the D gods that are living on the blockchain or the Bitcoin blockchain now, I can easily just go in here and interact with them via my Hero wallet, which is really, really awesome. The first marketplace to adopt this sort of framework, allowing these ordinals to be traded on in a non-OTC fashion, which is really cool. I think this is just the start for this. We're seeing, very low volumes on most of these collections, but we're starting to see it pick up a little bit. And I think it's just a good proof of concept moving forward for the legitimacy of NFTs living on the Bitcoin blockchain. So definitely excited to give you guys some updates on what happens here. Maybe we start seeing some mints happen through this interface as well. Magic Eden has always been very good about staying on the ball with what is happening in the current whirlwind that is Web3. So definitely really cool.
And what's the Hero wallet? That's the
Stacks wallet. That's a
Stacks
Stacks
wallet.
wallet. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes,
So you
sir.
need a Stacks wallet, Hero, and then Magic. And so Magic Eden's not going to work with Phantom, or for Bitcoin ordinals anyway. Phantom.
As of now, no. So Phantom also, I actually got the luxury of speaking to them in ETH Denver, and it sounds like their adoption. So another thing I should add today, I mean, this happened in the last couple hours. Phantom has launched their cross-chain interoperability. So you are actually able to, in the native Phantom wallet, interact with Polygon and Ethereum based assets as well. And it sounded like that was just the start for them. So I'm definitely excited to see if they decide to do something there. That could be a big move for them, adopting the stacks side of things as well, or maybe even native Bitcoin. We shall see.
Can you can we connect MetaMask yet to Magic Eden?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, of course.
Huh, never thought about exploring that. Huh.
Yeah, definitely give it a look. I mean, the volume on Magic Eden for the other chains, right? I mean, it's a Solana first kind of marketplace. So similarly to OpenSea, how they offer other chains, but the volume just isn't quite there. It's a similar situation for Magic Eden with Polygon and Ethereum as of now. But now we've got the official release of the Phantom the Phantom cross-chain wallet. So we should see if that changes or not. I think it's very possible that it does.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
Um, um, there's a lot of Solana haters, so I'm always looking forward to more development on there and see what happens. But I also laugh every single time they have an outage because come on.
hey, did you read that report that we shared today? They have a fix for every single outage that's happened. So the same kind of outage never happens twice. It's always a different problem that it's a little bit of whack-a-mole until we get Fire Dancer really pushed through, and then it's a multi-client chain where we are kind of dealing with separate rails that kind of are backups for each other. So it should be interesting to see that update come through this year.
Yeah, I guess I'm giving them too much of a hard time because I was thinking back, every major network that's been built that we rely on for something has outages at one point or another.
For sure. But Solana definitely is known for their outages, and I'll take the punches as the resident Solana maxi for the team. I'll take those punches.
All right. Well, it's March 23rd, and I wish I should have saved some of these headlines. I need to remember to do that, is save some of these naysayers and haters that talk about digital assets and how they're useless and have no intrinsic value. Or was it Biden's administration that said that recently? I think, or somebody, or maybe the White House. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the White House they were talking mad crap on cryptocurrency as a form of payment this week. That's another thing that happened, and right afterwards we saw crypto pump like crazy. So, that the market likes to put its money where its mouth is. That's for sure.
Well, we've talked about tokenization before, and a company by the name of Elmon X, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, formerly known as VTail, and I don't know if that's any better. I don't know. I don't know. They went from VTail to Elmon X. Okay, but regardless, they are known for having sold NFTs with the Mona Lisa. And now they're going a step further. And in about 3 days, on March 26th, 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is Sunday, um, they're going to release NFTs officially licensed by Vincent Van Gogh, Starry Night, and whoever has the rights to that.
Wow.
Very interesting play. Makes me want to jump in there. It actually is reasonable as far as price. It's I think this breaks it down. And for some reason, it's shipped from the US, but for some reason it's listed in pounds, maybe because it's a British company that's doing this. And maybe they're being manufactured in the US because it's probably more cost effective than doing it in England. But they're going to have 289 digital collectibles of the Starry Nights. Um,
Wow.
in addition to 289 animated, and so there's going to be the non-animated for 150 British pounds. We can look up what that is currently in exchange, but it's probably roughly about 250, $300. Depends on where the British pound is, but we'll look it up in a second. And then same amount, 289 animated, which there's a video. Here's the video of the animation. It's actually pretty neat. And those are going to go for 175 British pounds, a little bit higher, but still very, what's the word? Reachable, or
Attainable.
accessible, attainable. There you go. Thank you. I'd love to have this animation of Starry Nights, and it's an official licensed animation as a digital assets. But it doesn't stop there. They're gonna have 13 animated collectibles. That are only available with a credit card. You can't pay with crypto. I'm not sure why that is. The other two you can pay with a credit card or crypto.
Mhm.
This one's only available with your credit card for 1,500 British pounds, which is significant price, but they do come with artist proof as well. And in addition to that, you also get a this physical piece that is a display of stereo. You cannot, it's not a multi-use display, it's a single display committed to it. You can't change the image on this picture, but you'll also get this with it for the price tag. I mean, it's significant, and it's not the actual painting. So, but there's only 13 of those, and I thought that was really neat. And this brings a piece of classical art right into your home for a very what was that word again? Attainable price point. Um,
Yeah.
definitely interesting. Like I said, this company's M1X. They've done this with the Mona Lisa before. I think I can go to their previous drops. There we go. So they did that with the Mona Lisa, and now they're doing it with a Van Gogh. And I thought that was super cool and unique. And yeah, I think this is gonna sell out in seconds, literally, for the number of pieces that there are.
Yeah, so just for everybody that is a little confused, thrown off by the British pounds. So about 1 British pound equals $1.25 right now, roughly. So it's about $185 for that base mint, which was
Yeah,
150
okay.
pounds.
Yeah, I'm
So
I'm used to the pound being a lot more, about $1.60, $1.80, so I was giving it closer to a double value, but so it's a lot more attainable than I thought. But definitely something to check out.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's really obtainable, and it's like that supply is so low, that's going to be an exclusive drop. I would be very surprised if it took more longer than like 2 minutes to sell out.
Yeah, if like it's, I mean, it's like 500, 600 people lined up, and definitely there's going to be more. Um, I'm not even gonna try just because it's gonna be like click, oh, it's done. That's my luck.
It's always how it goes when I try to. I even don't feel bad.
And that's with thousands, not you know about 600.
Of a painting that everyone on this planet's heard of, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh,
What's that this next topic that drop it like sounds so like um mm, what's the word? Deadpoolish. There we go. A big play on that.
yeah. I mean, it's the name is a little interesting. I'll share my screen here, and we can look through their website a little bit. Still in very, very, very early alpha, so the gameplay isn't super incredible, or isn't it anything to really write home about. But you have to understand that Dr. Disrespect has been streaming this on his YouTube channel for weeks now. He is one of the founders, and he is doing everything that he can to make this game as great as possible. As you can see in here, here are some of the skins that you can acquire in the game. There's lots of different opportunities to own these assets. I'll show you the founders passes here in a minute, but I also had what Okay, yeah. So it's going to be a free to play game. It's going to be a vertical extraction shooter. So if anyone's played Escape from Tarkov, or even the new game mode within Warzone, I forget what it's called at the very moment, but it's a team-based extraction shooter. So you're going to accomplish objectives, and then you're trying to escape without being killed by any of the enemy teams. So there's lots of different things that are going to be incorporated within this game. Lots of different aspects from some of these other popular meta shooter games. But I expect it to be very unique when you get to the brunt of the game. I've seen a few of the live streams that Doc has been putting out, and it's very, very cool, even at the early stages it's at right now. You can access the early beta by purchasing one of these tower keys for $25. There's also referral codes. So if you see some of your favorite influencers talking about this game, they probably have a referral code. I'm not sure if there's a discount involved, but I have
Do you
seen
have a
that
referral
before.
code?
I don't as of right now. You might have to have a key to get a referral code, which might be worth doing.
Wait, you weren't prepared for the show and be like, by the way, here's my referral code.
I should have done so. I should have done that. I should have. But I'm just personally really excited because I know Doc is an extremely talented gamer himself, and he's built up a very, very cult-like community, and I say that in the nicest way possible, because those are the kind of communities that we're going to need to push this Web 2.5 gaming movement forward. Like when you go into the game here, is it early access? Here we go. drop in now. Uh, Goodness, there was a page I was finding earlier where you could like link your wallet and connect. I can't find that now, of course. But there's an option to basically have a custodial wallet where you're in control and you can connect and you can acquire your assets. But there's also a default option which creates a non-custodial wallet for you. Um, or sorry, I got those mixed up. They have a custodial wallet option where you will not have to do any of the heavy lifting on the wallet side. And then they also have a non-custodial option for people that already have established wallets that want to connect and participate. So they did their Founders Pass Mint the other day. This did launch on Polygon, and we're seeing the floor here hold a pretty solid level of zero point 0.5 ETH or so. And you can see some of the different characters and avatars that they have here on options. And it's pretty cool artwork. Definitely excited to see some of the perks come to fruition for these. And if you're curious at all, definitely check out some of Doc's live stream that he does. He does them several times a week. I think this is going to be one of the first really big Web 2.5 gaming names that comes out of the Web 3 space. So I'm really personally excited about this one.
Is there a demo?
You can get into the alpha right now and actually play yourself if you get one of those $25 tower keys.
There's a game on Wax. I don't know if I haven't talked much about it, and I can never remember its name, but there's a game on Wax that is a first-person shooter that they first had a game before they released anything. Well, they released some NFTs as promos, but they were just skins. They didn't actually like you still had all the assets. They weren't the actual assets in the game, but they did give you skins to the guns that you have access to in the game, that everyone has access to in the games. And I played it. It was a lot of fun. Uh, it was like I found it like a cross between Call of Duty and Halo,
Oh,
and uh, it didn't matter that there wasn't NFTs. If there were enough people and you were playing with your friends, it was just as fun as any other first-person shooter. And so I, funny story, picked up I think it was legendary or mythic pistol skin that was like practically free, like on the floor, like I don't know, 6, 8 months ago when I first discovered the game, and then I played it, and then there was enough people, and like we even NFT Gamer TV streamed some of it, and we used to do for a few weeks matches every Friday. But I should jump back in there and maybe bring it, and maybe we should do some gaming on this show, Evan, and have some more fun. But the reason I was bringing it up is because like you can go play that game right now and have a blast, and the NFTs are going to be secondary. And just like we mentioned earlier, with this past week, there's been a lot of headlines in the gaming industry pushing, um, probably, and because AAA games, significant games, good games worth playing take years to develop. It's not something that gets thrown together in a matter of years. So just like being we've talked about this before with and being fans of Solana with Star Atlas is we're expecting that to be a triple, and they have been upfront since the beginning. Hey, they're with their roadmap. Hey, this is going to take 5-7 years to develop into what we envision it to be. So be chill. Not uh, not financial advice in any way, but like I have my 3 ships and I'm holding on to them. I think I I managed to get something else, or I forget, but I haven't followed up much with it. I'm just hoping that these assets, they're not going anywhere, and just like we talk about, even rugs can be brought back to life, and assets can be put into many different uses because of interoperability, even if that exists right now, yet per se or not, everything on the blockchain works in a similar way. So it's not difficult to create that interoperability or bring something back to life, even on a different blockchain. Sorry, I
yeah.
went off on a tangent there, but
No, I mean that's a great point, and I have been seeing a little bit of snippets here and there. Like Star Atlas is they're chugging. Like if you're there and you're active and you're working to build something that's incredible, like the best things take the most time. So it's just you have to be patient and understanding, and that's why I think the most important thing in this space is to do your own research, right? because there's people that can go in with expectations, but I think your expectations have to go into that research as well, learning kind of what the trajectory is for all of these different things, and then being aware that that trajectory can find some bumps in the road. Eve Online, I know this wasn't on our script, but Eve Online has been teasing an entry into Web3 as well. I'm really waiting to see like an official announcement of that and see what comes of that, because that's another big name that would make a huge splash in the Web3 space that's been, doing their thing in the Web2 space for years and years at this point. So I'm hopeful that they're going to make some good moves, and hopefully be a good example for some of these other established brands and gaming names that are thinking about doing the same.
Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I'm kind of pee-offed about paying 60, $70 every year to whether it's Activision or another brand that puts out the latest Call of Duty, and then buying all these skins and outfits in the game and then not being able to use them with the next one that comes out next year and having to redo it all over again. It's like, all right, enough's enough. You have not improved the game that significantly to be worth another $150 a year. It becomes like a subscription where they're like, oh, we got them. It's like, all right, I was gonna make some comments. They're gonna be wrong, but it's like they're laughing at us and behind, like, we got him again. We got him again.
I I I don't necessarily fully agree, but I do agree on your premise there, where it's like things are going to need to change, and that's my next topic too. I want to touch on. Well, when we get there, talking a little bit about this new Fortnite situation. But
Oh.
yes, but you were gonna touch on a little bit about the automotive giants and what they're doing, Ivan. What's going on over there? Give us a rundown. You don't have to go crazy with it, but
I'm gonna quickly touch on Katy Perry first because
oh,
I don't know
yes.
why I always give her the air, but like I kind of find it humorous. It's I'm not a big fan or a huge follower in any way, but she's also sort of a big name that is on Theta, and I am a Theta fan. So I'll briefly share about Theta and some of the drops on there that I do like. But as giving you a heads up, if you are a Katy Perry, Katy Perry fan, she's having another drop tomorrow on Theta on the Theta network. If you're not familiar with Theta, Theta is a um, I believe they're a proof of stake, right?
Yeah.
Proof of stake blockchain that is known for rewarding content. And so they started off with being in direct competition with somebody like Twitch or YouTube, where you can stream on their platform, but then both viewers and streamers are rewarded in several aspects, be it through hosting a validator node, which is actually quite simple. It's a matter of installing software and allowing it to use your CPU. It doesn't even require GPU, CPU, and internet. It rebroadcasts the signal, and rewards you for spreading the signal. And so it works off of, I guess, in a similar way, like uh, IOTC, like Helium, where it repeats the signal from one unit to the other, and that's what it rewards for. But instead of using radio waves and an adapter, it just uses our Wi-Fi and our computer and already system that everyone has. And so it's quite genius. Definitely check it out if you're not familiar with Theta. They have some huge partners, including Panasonic and Sony and some other major brands that are behind them. And if it's they're also creating a music platform. So enough about Theta. I just wanted to bring up Katy Perry. Now, what makes this particular drop interesting is that um, um, you get this pack. When you get this pack that's minting tomorrow, and I believe it's $50 of a price tag. Yeah, $50. You get so you open this pack and you get to win real Katy Perry props and stage work costumes. But in order to get them, you have to also unlock the nostalgia store, what they're calling. And I believe, yeah. So the nostalgia store and the nostalgia store, it requires another card, which is from her previous job, the Gold Lion. and we can go to marketplace. I can show you the gold lion real quick. Oh, look, I'm on Katy Perry. So the iconic golden lion is required with the I'm sorry, golden lion, King of Hearts, Katy Perry, King of Hearts. Here's the King of Hearts, Katy Perry, and Hot Katy. Where's Hot Katy? I don't know where Hot Katy is. I think Hot Katy is um hold on, please hold. Um this is what you can unlock. These are the different these are the accessories and or outfits that Katy Perry has used or worn. I'm just not understanding where Hot Katy is because Hot Katy is what's necessary to combine with iconic Gold Lion and the King of Hearts Katy Perry to receive the Nostalgia Store Pack, which then allows you to redeem these real outfits by Katy Perry. So it's not as simple as for $50, and if you get this image, you get that, which is silly and as quite misleading. Again, it's I share it for the more of the humor and the this is what Katy Perry's doing. I'm not trying to talk shit against her. I just think that she doesn't have the right advisors in place and she could have done better. And another reason for that is her very first drop. Let me go back here to Katy Perry. Her very first drop. This was her very first drop. And it's like, come on. You're in a bathroom in front of a mirror. This is as creative as your producers could get. Like, really? Like, yeah, no. When I saw this, I'm like, ew, I don't want a picture of you in the bathroom. Come on,
It's not
back
even
me
a
up on
nice
some of
bathroom.
this. No, it's like there's nothing nice about this NFT except she happens to be in there. But it's like, whoop-de-doo, I'm not gonna give you $50 just because you're in this picture in the bathroom. Like you couldn't have like pose from your get creative. You do music videos. Like, what is
Right.
this thing of in the bathroom in front of a mirror? I was so disappointed. And since then I've been look, they're $7. You can buy one for $7. I think they were $50 when they minted 200
Ugh.
or 2,500 of them. Um,
Oh,
but Katy Perry, Tata Drop, however, let me go back to Tata for a second because outside of Katy Perry, they do a lot of fun stuff. And one of my favorite and very entertaining gamified drops that they've had is, and I've always been a big fan of this show, is The Price is Right. So they they've had a few different prices. I think I don't remember if I've talked on this show about it before or not, but they've had several well no I think two, did I miss one? I think two if not three drops at this point with the Price is Right, and you actually whatever you end up opening up, you collect points that then score you certain points within the game as if you were playing The Price is Right IRL, and with that come rewards and surprises. And my very first drop, let me see if I can find where my collection is. Here we go. Yeah, on my very first drop, I managed to get a cliffhanger that was 100%, which means my game like as if I was playing Cliffhanger the game. If you're not familiar with the show, Cliffhanger was an actual game where like it's all random, but like the player would then hit a button and this thing would climb up, or they would guess prices along the way and it would climb up. If you get to the top, you win the prize, and then that contributes to your overall showcase and being able to go to the next round of the game. But success 100% is not very common, so I was pretty excited to get this. But and so like there's a very fun angle to, there's the showcase big wheel that you get to spin depending on what you open. And this was my second drop that I got the Plinko, but it wasn't, see, it was 75% success, still not bad. Hey, like it was, anyway, enough about Theta. That was uh that's data drops for you and Katy Perry. Right now, they have some awards. This was, I haven't deep into this to know exactly what kind of awards are, but there's an opportunity for a free commemorative badge as an NFT, and then they have vote packs where they're only $1, and I think you use them to vote for projects or music artists or on-screen performances. And so this is going to be an interesting play. I haven't dove deeper into it, so by all means, do your research before you jump in there. But Katy Perry minting in 20 hours.
Don't miss it. Not financial advice.
I want to offer promotion for your channel. Sweet, let's go. No, thank you. All right, what you got next for us while I deal with this?
No worries. Yeah, let's talk about Fortnite Creative 2.0. So this is, like I said before, this is not the Fortnite that you guys are thinking of. This is using Unreal Engine to design basically give power to creators to design anything they want with the mechanics and assets that are base Fortnite, and being able to create assets and mechanics on your own using the tools that Fortnite has at its disposal. So I'll share my screen here. I have nothing super concrete to share with you guys. I'm just going to go through some of the different things that people are tweeting about and talk to you a little bit about it and see kind of where we are now and what I think is going to be possible. So, I mean, it just came
So,
out. We're already seeing like this is a recreation of Rust from Call of Duty built in the Fortnite Unreal
yes,
Engine.
I love that map.
Yeah, so like things like this are already very, very possible, and you can see some of the actual gameplay as there's aspects that are very Fortnite-esque, but also you get that Call of Duty feel due to just the way that you can customize the assets. I think there's lots of possibilities around this moving forward that are going to be extremely exciting. I mean, like there's all kinds of different things that you can create and build within this tool set. And I think that this is the direction that the metaverse is really going. I mean, you have Mario Kart, you have, Call of Duty remakes. We have all kinds of different opportunities that are going to be built that are all community driven. So basically, if you have the creativity and the willpower and the time to do something, you're going to be able to create it. And I think that that's the most important thing here. I mean, excuse me, we saw a rise in games like Roblox with a creator economy, allowing people to monetize their creations and their maps that they spent hours and hours to make. And I think that this is just the start for some of these further uh, further commit. I don't know, people that are committing further to this thought process of building something, being able to monetize it, and allowing people to enjoy what they're creating. So, and also one thing I do want to point out is that the other side, the metaverse that's coming from the Bored Ape Yacht Club, aka Yuga Labs, is using the Unreal Engine in a very similar physics model to what Fortnite uses. So I think that this is going to be a great stepping stone with Fortnite Creative 2.0 into that other side metaverse standard and new meta coming forward for games, and allowing this creator economy that we know so well in here in Web 3 to thrive in Web 2, and allowing that transition from Web 2 to Web 2.5 to Web 3 to be that much more seamless and make more sense for gamers and creatives. I think that that's the biggest thing that comes out of this, is giving that mindset to gamers that they can create something that has value that other people are willing to pay for, so that all the money isn't going to these game studios that are creating um, very strict parameters for their games, right? We can create any and everything within these games, and I think that that's the direction that things are going. So, if you guys are curious at all, there's tons of videos. As you can see, I'm scrolling here. There's all kinds of weird, crazy stuff that's getting built. But I mean, they just announced it yesterday that it's officially going to be released to the public. So, keep your eyes peeled, and definitely stay tuned on these Twitter threads and YouTube videos that are going to be coming out from some of the biggest names in gaming.
Don't stop sharing it. Oh, you're
Oh,
so quick to share.
I'm
You're
sorry.
so quick to stop sharing.
I'm sorry.
Uh, um,
I'll go back.
Rewind and say all of that again because you started off by saying something about Fortnite and like how's a Fortnite related to any of this besides that everyone uses the Unreal Engine?
So this is Fortnite Creative. So this is going to be within the Fortnite ecosystem of people creating their own custom games.
Okay, okay, got it. W- Oh, I missed where you said there's digital assets tied to this.
So basically, the way that you need to think about this is that people are basically creating their own games, creating their own maps, creating their own everything. And to participate, it's going to be very similar to Roblox, in which you have to pay whatever their in-game currency is to access these opportunities. Whether that's a challenge map, maybe it's something like parkour, or maybe it's something like a shooting range with a leaderboard, and they're going to basically be tying in different aspects into it that allow you to basically be paid. Um, there's not a lot of confirmation on how this is going to be structured, how this is going to work, but I'm thinking of it very similarly to Roblox in the way that there's an actual digital economy happening in the background. And we know from different statements that have been made that the higher ups at Fortnite and all of the associated games with Fortnite. I'm blanking on because they're not Blizzard Activision. They are a different company. I'm blanking right now. But basically, it's going to create like a
Epic
framework.
Games.
Epic Games. Thank you. Thank you. It's basically going to be a proof of concept for all Epic Games, all the other games that they offer. That this creator economy is very valuable, not only to the community and the community that embraces that community, the people that actually play these custom games, but it's also going to be very, very lucrative for the companies that are offering this. When we're talking about Roblox, like the creator split is ridiculous. Like it's so low, like people that are creating these custom experiences get paid virtually nothing compared to what they should. And I think that can very much correlate to what we understand with like royalties within NFTs, right? I mean, people get very upset if, royalties are above even 5%. 10% can frustrate people. And these creators were getting like very, very low amounts of money compared to what these companies were getting for hosting the games on Roblox. So I think that this is going to be the start of that meta shift and people understanding that these creators and these people creating these custom experiences are way more valuable than anything that the core company, aka Epic Games, could produce. And that's kind of what I'm getting at when we're talking about things like the other side with Yuga Labs. Is it's going to be a very similar system, and I think it's just going to make more sense to gamers that are introduced to this now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Yuga Lab just needs to literally stop putting poop out. And
I
maybe they'll
could,
stand a
I mean,
chance.
I mean,
With the amount of money they have, they could stand a chance against Epic, but just don't put poop out. Like, come on. I love Roblox also. I do also agree it's a boot camp for metaverse, but it's a metaverse in it, like every um for lack of a better word, expert out there on metaverses, if there's such a thing, will tell you the same thing. Roblox is a metaverse. They're just where was oh I was talking to on a tweet earlier today. I said the same thing. They're just a privately closed system platform metaverse, and you can't trade their assets outside their platform. Otherwise, it's just like anything else we do with blockchains and Upland, we know Upland, we one of my favorite games on blockchains, does the same thing. Very smart. Like they were not one of probably a handful of projects that did it right, that did not get hurt in any way by the bear market outside of potentially not maybe not as many users because the segments is not there, but like they didn't suffer any loss in value in any way. So I think it's ingenious and is speaking of headlines in gaming, Lego was another brand that was heavily into the news the last week or so, where or a week or in the last week, couple weeks, there was a headline that came out, and Lego has invested $2 billion alongside of Epic to further develop the metaverse. And we know Epic about 2 years ago, or so committed $10 billion to building a metaverse. So it's been a year or two of development, and they have resources and lots of developers on it. So we'll probably be hearing something sooner than later.
Well, and
Uh,
this is the segue in my opinion. This is that bridge where people start understanding the creator economy a little bit more from a gamer perspective. I think that's what this is, this creative mode.
this is what I wanted to ask you earlier, though, when you were talking about that other game. Mm, is that mm, we haven't heard of anyone trying to lead with creating a marketplace for games like Epic or Steam have become, where you just go there to search for games, not anything else. And so we don't really have that in Web3 yet. It creates a huge opportunity. I mean, sure, we can wait for Epic to finish with what they're doing, and eventually we know, like, there's probably two or three games at this point that are digital asset related on the Epic Game Store. But there's so many other games within the Web3 ecosystem right now that we don't have one single place to go to. And so how we need to solve for that, because how are people going to find and discover these projects? And that's how we find good games on Steam. Someone downloads it, it's good, they give a review, this is freaking awesome, you should try it. Someone else downloads it. That's how games go viral. We can't rely on crypto Twitter to spread about games, because gamers don't spend time on Twitter.
Yeah, no, that's
You
a
know,
great point. And I think that plays into this Polygon Immutable X partnership.
I went there also. I went there also because Immutable, like, that was their approach, is they wanted to be a simple marketplace that solves solutions for gaming, and now they've partnered up with Polygon and gives them a lot more power. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Shall we talk about automotive giants in Web3?
I think we shall. I think we shall.
Let's get in it. So earlier on our news segment at the beginning of the show, we mentioned that Nissan was jumping all the way into Web3 space and crypto, with filing for trademarks and patents, and looking to create all sorts of accessories and digital assets. But I wanted to take the time to sort of cover a few different big automakers that are doing something in the space, and I'll touch on them briefly, but I'll spend a little more time on Nissan, because I think their approach is a little bit different than everyone else. And I'll start off with probably one of the worst performers here. And by no surprise, Porsche is here for us. As much as we love Porsche, as amazing of a company as they are, and as great cars and huge following as they have, uh, they did poorly as to how they entered Web3 and what they're doing so far. I haven't even looked, but let's for giggles check their floor price and
Oh,
performance. It's pretty good at 1.8. What are they in at 0.9?
yeah, point
0.911.
yeah, 0.911. They cut supply. So that does play into the price, but even I mean if you minted, you're looking pretty good at this point.
So it's double the price, and we, joked about that a little bit, but again, there's not a whole lot to it yet that they've shared or told us, and so there was nothing exciting around this. And um, as it's disappointing because of how big Porsche brand is, and potentially what they could have done. But it was very evident for those of us in the space that kind of have seen things play out in one way or another, more than one ways. We could tell, like, they just didn't have the right advisors in place, and maybe listened to the wrong words of wisdom and did whatever they did. But so now they're here. We'll see what they do and how they approach it. At this point, I think it's they missed. They didn't miss. I mean, they still have performance, but they could have done a lot better and make it a lot more accessible and get more engaged with the community. And so, in some ways, they failed, but in other ways, they were also quite a success. But because they did do this during a bear market, and they still managed to sell roughly 2,400 assets at about, you know, 12, $1,500 depending on what Ethereum was on that on a given day. Um, but so that's them. Lamborghini is another one that has entered the space and has for a little while. They've done what they call an epic NFT road trip, where they're going to have several different drops of NFTs, creating sort of an experience for the fan and the follower. Their website talks about it, the epic road trip, and it's supposed to give you the idea of what it's like to drive a Lambo. Now, this doesn't quite get you a Lambo in any way. Um, it does require you to spend, you know, a couple $100 every single drop. I think drop two is actually live right now. Um, and do I have it open here? I think I did. Is this it? But and so okay, when Lambo not with their NFT play, it just doesn't excite me. And there's a limited amount and limited editions and whatnot. Um, and there's some gamification to it, but again, like you could have done so much more. What was it? Oh, there's one I wanted to mention that I didn't have on my list. What was the Back to the Future car?
DeLorean.
DeLorean, yeah, DeLoreans as I'm mentioning manufacturers, and I don't have a website. Well, let's see, DeLorean NFTs. But DeLorean, we saw this when we were here we go. When we were in Austin, was it Austin for Consensus? Or I believe so. And so they have 7,777 NFTs that are at $2,500 a piece. Well, it's not what I was offered when I was there at a conference. They were $2,500 a piece, but that went towards securing a actual manufacturing piece from the factory of the new DeLorean because they're releasing new DeLoreans, and the $2,500 went towards the price of that car. So I'm not sure what this is for point one ethers. I always find it funny when they call it ethers or $320. Um, so this must have been okay. Yeah, this was last year because but anyway, so that was just another one. As I'm moving through mentioning some of these, I didn't. Fia and Kia started using Chat GTP to create, open up a metaverse car dealership. So they have basically started showcasing as they dug a little bit deeper into this. They've basically started showcasing cars and showing them virtually. And there's a metaverse store, and you can look at the cars in the collection. But it's interesting. I think you know it's just it's a I think a fancy website at this point and not full blown as to what it could be. Moving on from Fiat and Kia, going into Nissan, I think this plays a little bit more fun, as we mentioned earlier. They're full blown in there. They have several trademarks involving all three of their brands, Infiniti, Nismo, and Nissan. They want to create clothes, cars, headgear, trading cards, toys, tickets, and a marketplace. And I think that's just a that's just a short list of what potentially they can make. The sky's the limit. But um, they've been experimenting around with this for a while. They've created this is a neat little video. This a walkthrough of a virtual store in Japan, and I'll show you a couple more different websites. They have a um, play in let's see, is this the Italian one? This through Nissan Electrified Labs. Does that take me here? Yeah, that takes me here. So wait, is it? Let me make sure. Reject cookies. Um, so I think they also could have gone a little further with this, and they actually present you with a sort of like a mini metaverse that you can explore right into a browser. Very neat. Plug this together. You gotta click to plug these to get an electrified experience. Now, when this happened, I thought I was going to be able to drive the car, but I'm not. I'm presented with different portals that showcase this, and this is Nissan's electric SUV that is I'm not sure if it's released or about to be released on the market, and you can explore it and check it out, check the design out. But I can't really open it or interact with it in any way, and so I think they've missed out on that aspect. These portals, you just kind of walk through them, and they take you to another location. Now, what's interesting is that an artist has taken the time to design these, and they're highlighting the artist. I wonder if they're going to sell them as NFTs at some point, because there's a unique artist behind each scene. But it's all about exploring the artistic angle of the design of the artist, and then also the car and how it was fitted into that atmosphere and design. Um, Again, I can't interact with the car in any way. So if the goal of all of this is to sell more cars, I think they're spending way too much time on the art and not enough time on the car experience. So I still think there's an opportunity, but it's a lot further than some of the other brands that I've shown have gone. They also did a play in. Is this it? Wait, because they have it in. How do I change this in English? It was a place, I forget, where am I missing? There's an English version of this. Anyway, so this is a I haven't gone in to check it out, but there's an experience right into the Centraland where they have a whole e-power experience. I didn't take the time to enter. I didn't have a chance to. But definitely, again, they've really jumped in there. I didn't see any of the other manufacturers offer any sort of metaverse play where Nissan has uh, uh, a browser-based one, and they've built a full experience in the Centraland, and so definitely giving them props for being a lot more proactive with what they've done.
Yeah, I think having a unique experience like that has value. But yeah, like you said, if you're trying to sell cars, you're not really selling cars with that experience. You're just kind of doing cool stuff, which is still good. It's just not it might not be the goal that they're looking to hit.
One more brand I wanted to mention, and that's MG Motors. If you're not familiar with MG Motors, that's the main. I don't know how many they have, but this is India's main auto manufacturer. As you can imagine, they manufacture a lot of cars. India, just like China, have often wanted to get into the U.S. market, but the standards for vehicle safety in the U.S. is quite high. Where China's getting close, India is still a little bit further. Now, India does, MG Motors does make, you can appreciate this, they make a Jeep very similar to the Wrangler. In fact, you can use a lot of the parts because they're made to similar specs to the Jeep Wrangler. Um, and so MG Motors has a really cool looking Jeep that actually, in some cases, let me see if I can Google this, MG Motors Jeep. Um, it's a really, yeah, and yeah, no, this isn't. Let me go to Google. I've been using the Brave search, see how it compares, but MG Motors Jeep. No, is it not gonna show me? Um, Maybe I should have searched for Wrangler. But I've seen it. I've appraised one before actually. MG Wrangler copy. What would I search for? Um, anyway, I'm not going to spend more time on this, but MG Motor India has a Jeep that looks just like Wranglers, and as you can imagine, they're a fraction of the cost, and it's actually really cool. When the last startup I worked for, the appraisal lane where Jahan and I first met, we've appraised a couple of those, and they're actually in high demand in the U.S. If you bring them over with old, and you have all paperwork, I've imported cars before. It's not as simple as like, oh yeah, just put it in a ship and ship it over. No, it's not that simple. There's a lot of costs involved. There's a lot of headaches, a lot of paperwork. If you bring over an MG Jeep, it could it's going to be half the price of what you would pay for a Wrangler, but it sucks I can't freaking find a picture. I bet I can somewhere on my computer. I have a screenshot of the one, the last one we appraised at the appraisal lane. I couldn't believe it because I learned about them beforehand, and then I saw one submitted by a dealer. I'm like, I know what this is and what potentially it's worth. Let's go. Um, but so sorry, back to digital assets. Yeah, they're using they're also doing multiple VR spaces similarly to Nissan. Some of them with a VR head. I think we're going to see a lot of major sales pitches happen in VR because you can take a person and show them something that's not quite finished yet, like a car or an apartment or a house, and put VR on them and have them fully experience that where they're sold without even the being near it. And so props on MG Motors. I think more people are going to get to know about them and who they are and the fact that they make cars. And maybe one day they'll break through and enter the US market. I'm more for them to enter the market as opposed to the Chinese, although the Chinese do have amazing copies of cars that are, compared to expensive brands. But again, their safety, they cut too many corners there. And
Yeah,
that's my spill on automotive makers in Web3, major automotive makers in the Web3.
lots of people making different stances, right? They're taking different approaches. So it should be interesting to see who can do something creative and actually engage community, right? That's the real judge in Web3 is the community.
Yeah, Porsche discovered the community factor after they announced it. Hey, we're minting NFTs. Oh, wait, there's a community. Oh, wait, we have to listen to you.
Can't just drop something and you'll pay for it? Come on.
But we're Porsche.
Right, exactly. We have the brand, we have the name. Well, give us value, make it fun for us.
They
Like
totally
something.
did this the wrong way. They should have gone to their existing Porsche fans and owners, which there's millions of them around the world, and said, "Hey, here's an opportunity. Owning a digital 911. Would you want this opportunity? It's going to cost $1,000 or whatever it is, and here's what you get, and here's what that means. Educate them, onboard them, promote it to them, and then reach out to. But by that time they would have. What was their? How many were they going to sell? Do you remember? Was it
I want to say it was like in the like 7,000 to 10,000 range. I think it was like way
something
more
like
than they
that?
should have.
Yeah. And they could have sold all of those had they approached it right. Have they taken the time to learn and not rush into it and take delay 3, 4, 5 months, whatever it takes, but reach out to like the existing owners are the biggest fans. They would have been the first one about digital. What? I don't know. I don't understand, but it's Porsche. Give it to me. I think they failed there,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
we'll see. We'll see what everyone else does. I'm as far as automakers, auto industry. I'm more interested in the utility of what blockchains can provide and fix. It's been a big headache being in the auto industry, dealing with history reports,
Oh yeah.
inaccurate history reports, and there's multiple of them, and their information doesn't correlate. There's mixed information on two of them, and sometimes it's a huge headache that significantly devalues an asset that already gets devalued just because it's a depreciating asset. But it just makes it really hard. And then you heard a lot of consumers are heard that way that don't know enough about it and don't know any better and are maybe taken by a dealer in one way or another. Um, and so blockchains can solve for all of that, just like in the same way they can solve for healthcare and provide records or personal health records where there's no bureaucracy or fighting or paying money or waiting for weeks, if not months, to get your stuff just to send to another doctor so that you can be treated right. Same thing with vehicles. And so I'm a big supporter of exploring solutions in the space. And so after we tackle real estate, maybe we start going after the auto industry, but they're stubborn, so I don't know if it's worth worth the time and effort until they figure it out the wrong way, like
Yeah.
Porsche.
Yeah, that's true. They're gonna learn, but it's gonna be the hard way.
All right, anything else you want to share today, Evan?
No, I don't think so. There's a lot of developments that are just kind of ongoing right now. I'm sure we'll have a lot for you guys next week as we move forward. We had the Arbitrum airdrop today. We had lots of things coming out of the SEC and the US government. So we're just kind of, the market's kind of processing everything, and we're going to figure out where we're going to land on our feet, I think, this weekend, next week sometime. So
I mean, speaking of that and digital assets, the IRS came out and said that they're exploring of taxing digital assets as collectibles, which for the upper brackets of income tax or income brackets, the income tax range there that's upwards of 28%, so nearly a third of what an asset is worth. Again, that's not do until you actually sell the assets. So sort of another like, hey, if I can make a lot of money on an NFT, okay, I'll pay my third. Just like if you win the lottery, you pay your third, and Uncle Sam gets that. So it's not necessarily going to happen that way, and there's still a lot to explore. And but that's the latest word from the IRS. At least at this point, they're giving more clarity and guidance as to how for folks to approach some of these stuff, so it gets more clearer and people can be more comfortable.
absolutely, yeah, 100% agreed. And I think, this is one of those things where it's going to be a lot of trial and error trying to find that sweet spot for these digital assets of all kinds, right? NFTs, cryptocurrencies themselves, and then all the derivatives and properties and tokenization of real assets and everything. It's going to be a lot of trial and error. So we're going to be here through all of it to discuss it with you guys every Thursday here at Smart Assets. So don't you worry. Just give us a follow here on Twitter, on Twitch. We love sharing the newest updates with you guys.
Definitely, absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate everyone that tuned in. We'll be back next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and that will be our show right before Miami NFT Week is happening. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some footage from there and put a video together to share with everyone. There will be a lot of speaking opportunities. A lot of our friends are going to be there. It's going to be good times, and Miami is always fun. So
Absolutely.
until next time, stay breezy, keep it easy, and let's keep building. Have a
Yes,
great
sir. Build, build,
day,
build.
evening, and a weekend.
All right. See you guys.